The Endless Golf Podcast, brought to you by Toyota.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to the Endless Golf Podcast. And today we've got a special guest talking a little golf and business with Curtis Macomber from Key Financial Services. And Curtis is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. We play a lot of golf together.
Yeah, we do.
And Curtis, I thought you were the perfect guy to talk a little golf and business because you certainly married the two for sure. Key Financial Services, tell us how you got started in that business.
Well, it's a funny story. Back in the early 80s, I worked at Giant Food in the service deli. I had hair back then, had to wear one of those paper hats, and got a little tired of that. And I answered a blind ad in the newspaper and went to work for Prudential Insurance and worked for them for 15 years. And then decided that trying to do one company's answers for everybody's problem didn't work out so well. So I formed my own company at the time called Key Advisors Group, where we represent the clients to the industry as opposed to the company to the client. So we're totally independent from everything we do. We're not married to any company.
And the time when you started the business, did you play golf? When did you start playing golf?
I started playing golf at 10 years old at the old NOL base in White Oak, Maryland. You go and put $1 in the box. Our parents would drop us off. We'd play all day for $1 at the NOL base. So I've been playing since I was 10 years old. Now, you can't tell by my handicap, but I've been playing since I was 10, 50
Well, we
years.
had a little Ryder Cup match about a week ago, and he shot 34 on the first 9 holes that we played. And I was unfortunately his opponent that day. He did wax me pretty good, but I will tell you, it was a pleasure to watch. It was a great day for you, for sure, but not so good for your team.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure whipping you. I got to tell you, I was very, very happy about that. But Team Curtis didn't work out so well. You whipped us pretty good. I think you beat us by 10 points. So it was a good old butt whipping.
Well, it was a fun match for sure, but let's get back to the business side of golf a little bit and talk a little bit more about you. I know one of the things that you've done over the years as you've expanded your business, you've done a lot of public speaking and talked to groups to try to kind of educate them with the financial side.
Yeah, it's a combination of education and actually prospecting for new clients. So what we would do is invite, lots of people to a venue, whether it be a library, might have been a dinner venue or whatever, and we would talk about the various aspects of financial planning, and from that, some of those folks would become clients. So it was a good thing. That evolved into some other educational speaking at conventions and things like that, which I never thought I would find myself doing, but there I was.
Well, you've never been a loss for words, so you're kind of a natural when it comes to public speaking. But I know probably in the beginning it was a little challenging, but now it's probably a second hat to you.
It is. I still do that with the business now. I still do a lot of the public speaking and the radio and television, which again just is beyond. I don't know how you do it all the time, but it's become a lot more easy for me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your investors out there and the people that you do business with, and if for our folks out there watching and they're thinking maybe to invest a little bit, if you had to have one piece of advice for an investor, what would it be? If a guy's or a family is looking to start investing, what would that advice be?
Your answer was in your question. Start early and continue with it. One of the tried and true investment strategies is what they call dollar cost averaging. So if you put in money to a 401k, for example, week in and week out, you're going to get various stock prices or fund prices, but that will average out to where you should do pretty well in the market. As you get older, then you have to start changing your strategy a little bit. But the biggest thing I see is people won't start. We always encourage start investing as soon as you get a job.
And the next question I was going to have was the biggest mistake that that investors make, and probably the biggest mistake may be that they don't get started.
They don't get started, and then they don't pay attention. Most people, are real good at what they do, but have no idea what a 12B1 fee is, or what a ticker symbol is. They really don't know the financial markets at all, and so it's important that you find somebody that you like and trust that you can work with. There's very good financial professionals out there, and you get recommendations from their clients, but meet somebody you like and trust.
One of the things that we've talked about over here, and you've given me some great advice and certainly been a big part of what I have done, and you've always said, and this is really in anything, whether it's golf or whether it's in business or anything you do, it's never bad to take a profit.
Oh, you never go broke making a profit. That's why when your buddies want to press you on number 18, you can let them press for half of it, not all of it.
And one of the things too is, over the years you've obviously built a lot of clientele, but you kind of step back a little bit and you really developed your business, and it really is a family affair now.
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter, Kristen, when we moved down to Ocean City in 2001, I moved my corporate office from Christiana, Delaware to Berlin, Maryland. And my daughter she just came out of college to have a degree in teaching, and she was just going to help us out for the summer till I got somebody in there, and that was 18 years ago, or 19 years ago, I guess. So she's been there forever. Then my youngest son was getting ready to go off to college, and he said, Dad, you really seem to have a pretty cool life. He said, you mind if I come into this business after I graduate college? And which, of course, gave me goosebumps, and I'm like, absolutely. And so Colin and Kristen are pretty much running the show now, along with some other folks that are hired. Gage Lesser, a good friend of ours, Matt Repass. We have several other people in there, but Colin and Kristen are really running the show at this point. Why we are here at Lost City in South Florida, yes, and they're in Berlin in the freezing cold weather.
Yes, full disclosure, we are at Curtis's his winter home here in Atlantis, Florida, at Lost City Golf Club. I joined here about a year and a half ago, and you did as well. I kind of pushed him a little bit to come down here, and it's been a great experience so far here at Lost City for sure.
No doubt. I'm so happy you convinced me to do this.
We've had some good conversations out on this little deck
we have,
too,
sitting right there at that fire pit.
Yes, sir.
We didn't have water in our hand either.
That is certainly true. Well, the other thing with your business is, and you mentioned this a little bit, you mentioned Gage and you mentioned Matt, but in addition to your family, you have a lot of people that you trust and you value very hard in your company as well.
Yeah, well, it's real important to realize what your strengths are and what your weaknesses are. So hire people that are smart. Smart people. Surround yourself with good, trustworthy people that you like, trust, that you can show them your systems, and then all you got to do is follow up. And I've done that with the folks. I mean, I used to have 17 offices and almost 90 employees. Now we're down to 10 or 12, and it's a very manageable thing. And the kids can grow anywhere they want from here. But yeah, surrounding yourself with good, talented, smart people is the way to do any business.
I think you great advice, sound advice for sure. Any business you start, you surround yourself with the right people, and that's why employees and people that you work with or that you work for is so important. You have to have a good work environment to be successful, for sure.
No doubt, absolutely. You're 100% right there. And Key Financial, it's like a family. I mean, we eat lunch together every day at the conference room table. And that's actually where a lot of client information will get discussed, with the other advisors. So there's not just Colin or Kristen or Gage and Matt looking at it. We'll talk about it amongst 10 of us, and try to get a lot of different input to what we should be talking to the client about.
Well, speaking of the client, and we talked about this earlier, this is a golf business podcast with you today. You mentioned you started playing golf many years ago, but when did golf come in to play with your business?
Well, with Prudential, I was 22 years old, and Montgomery Country Club out in Laytonsville, Maryland, I don't know if you know it, they had a special for $90 a month. I could join a country club. And that was a huge step up from NOL or the municipals around there. So we would be done Friday at noon, and we would be there at 12:30 playing golf until it got dark almost every Friday, and that went on and on. I mean, I think I played golf almost every Friday since then.
And Curtis, needless to say, golf has probably been good for your business. And I always had a saying, you really learn a lot about a person when you spend 4 hours with them on a golf course, for sure.
Yeah, the true traits will come out on that 4-hour round or 3-hour round here in golf. But it may have been good or bad for my business because as I got to be the owner of the company, it wasn't just Fridays I played golf. I played a little bit more than that. But really, a lot of my clients I played golf with or I met on the golf course. A lot of the people that I work with all play golf. And to be quite honest with you, most of my friends now I've met at Ocean City Golf. The friends that I have in Ocean City have come through Ocean City Golf and Yacht.
No question. And I tell you what we'll do, it's a good time to take a quick break. We'll come back with Curtis here on the Toyota Endless Golf Podcast, and we'll talk about a little bit more about golf and some of the events that you're involved with when we return. So stay with us.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Toyota pioneered the more efficient way to drive. And now, we're taking things even further. Efficiency for every lifestyle, performance for any terrain, giving you the freedom to go the distance and the power to find your way home. The future of dependability is here with Toyota's full line of electrified vehicles. More power, less gas. Reserve yours today. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to the Endless Golf Podcast presented by Toyota. And staying with me is Curtis Macomber from Key Financial Services. Curtis, we talked a little bit about your history, a little bit about your company, and one of the other things that I wanted to talk about with you today is you're the kind of the ringleader. You're the guy that puts it all together. I said this years ago, every club needs a member like Curtis Macomber. And one of the reasons I said that was because you really need to support your club, no matter, as a member, a new member, an old member, whatever it is, and you really do a good job of doing that.
Well, the one thing you forgot to mention here is you said that on one of your shows, and you said every club needs a Curtis, but only one. I forgot that part.
There's another side to Curtis, too. He's a little crazy sometimes, but, he makes a difference to a club, in my opinion. You bring people together, and I guess it's kind of your personality. Every club needs an organizer when it comes to putting groups together, whether it's a men's group or a group that plays every Tuesday or Friday. You've certainly done that at Ocean City Golf Club.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not 100% responsible, but I certainly am very involved in that. And, golf's a lot more fun when you have a lot of people. We have a text chain. I'm sure every club has that now, but there's 35 people on that text chain. We'll just tell them the tee times. Guys show up, and whoever shows up plays. Nobody gets left behind at Ocean City.
And one of the things you do too is you play different games sometimes, and then there's always the emergency nine sometimes. And for golfers out there who may be just picking up the game and looking to play in a group, one of the things I enjoy a lot about playing with you guys is, we kind of do different things, and you partner up with different people sometimes, and that makes it fun as well. So talk about the different formats that you play and how you play.
Well, usually we'll play a serious 18, and then we might go in the clubhouse and have an adult beverage or two and go out and play an emergency nine. We do a lot of alternate shot where both of us will hit a tee ball, and if we play my tee ball and you're my partner, then you're hitting the tee ball the next shot hole, and then me. But we alternate in, and we'll play against another.
And that's a fast format to play.
It's real fast. We'll play 8 people because you're only playing 4 balls. So at Ocean City late in the afternoon, they'll let you do that. Because you'll fly around. There's nobody out there. We're not holding anybody up. So that's a good one. We also will play a reverse scramble, 2-man scramble, where the other team picks what ball you play. So if you hit it in the woods, that's the ball you're playing. That's a little fun. And then, of course, the 3-2-1 tournament it took on a life of its own.
Yeah, the biggest event that you really put on all year, and you've really made this an event that everybody looks forward to, and it's right around Halloween weekend, and that is the 3-2-1. Great format, a fun format, but it does come with a little bit of pressure as well.
A lot of pressure. We flight everybody by handicaps in A, B, or C. And you'll play, you must think Ocean City has no rules. We play 6 people on a hole, 2 3-man teams. And let's say you, me, and Joe are teams, and he's the A, you're the B, I'm the C. We'll all 3 hit a drive. And if we play your shot, you're done the rest of the hole. Me and Joe will hit the next shot. If we play Joe's ball, the second shot, he's out, and then I have to finish. The strategy is usually to try to get your C player out of the way. Use your C players drive first, so you have your stronger players finishing the hole, because it gets a little nerve-wracking. You can usually tell at the end of the round who had a good C player, because they're coming in all slapping high fives and giggling, and the ones whose C player might have let them down a little bit are putting their clubs in the trunk and slamming the trunk and not even coming in to see who won.
Well, what's funny, it doesn't matter how good your C player, your A player, your B player is, you still have to play the game, and it's really how you play that day. In this game, you don't have to play well a lot. You just have to play well like 1 or 2 times when you're in some of these events.
Oh, yeah.
And if you get somebody that gets hot and is on fire and you get a little bit lucky, that's all part of this game, and that makes it fun as well. I think the key is when you're playing in events like that, don't take it too serious. Just have a good time.
I don't think, what you got to figure is 99.9% of us, the best we're going to do is be able to beat up on our buddy on a Saturday afternoon. You're not getting on TV.
Right.
Don't take it so serious. It's just a game. You know, you win a couple dollars, you lose a couple dollars, you have a beverage with your buddies. It's all it is. You're not going anywhere. So it's, you just have some fun, and that's, you know, we have more giggles. I mean, you might get upset once in a while, but you're much more fun when you're laughing.
I'm a tough negotiator on that first tee. That's kind of what it's all about, and you're not easy either. But that's all part of it too. You can lose a lot of bets on that first tee, Curtis.
Yeah, well, that's definitely one of the strengths that need to be honed in when you're getting in with this bunch. That's for sure.
And you know, as the saying goes, if you stand on that first tee and you look around and you don't see any pigeons, you're probably it.
You're it. You are it. And we have both been it, and we both had them on the line too.
Yes,
it's a lot of fun.
We both have licked our chops, and we both know when we've got a bad bet. And you try to just head as much as you can when you get in a bad.
We've also licked our chops and then got our butts handed to us too.
And that is so true. That gets back to the fact that no matter what the strokes are, no matter who you're playing against, you have to play well. And in this sport, it will certainly humble you.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Golf's hard.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty much all you can say. It's hard.
You know, I've got a saying too, you know, I think ego is one of the most expensive things you can have, and whether it's having an ego in golf or having an ego in life, it can be kind of tough, and it can be costly if you get a little too ahead of yourself.
Yeah, you see those silver eagles flying through the air. I never did get that. I mean, you pay $1,000 for that club, you're going to throw it up against a tree or up in a tree. I love when somebody throws a club and gets stuck in a tree. That's karma at its best, isn't it?
We know a few guys that have done that for sure. And at Ocean City, as some of you may know, there's a lot of water on that golf course, and we've had some guys throw it in the pond and throw it in the bay, and sometimes it comes back to haunt them.
We
can see it the next day.
It'll stick out. Yeah, I know exactly you're talking about. That 3-wood stuck in there forever. It's like a flag. We should have put a flag out there.
That's true. That's not a good memory for that person when he comes to that hole and he sees his 3-wood in that pond every time. Not a good feeling for sure. But one of the great events at Ocean City Golf Club has always been the member guest, and it really is a special member guest. I've been fortunate enough, and I know you have too, to play at a lot of member guests. And you know, I think what makes a golf club and what makes a member guest event is definitely the people. And we've got a good group of people there, and but also
both players and staff.
Yes, and also the staff at Ocean City Golf Club, which is led, of course, by Buddy Sass, a true PGA professional. They do a great job at that event.
It's the best. I mean, you know, we all bring guests in every year, and you know, we bring some guests from some pretty big name clubs, and they all agree that Ocean City is one of the best. It's not only a golf tournament, but it's a 3-day party, and it's a lot of fun. And you know, at the end, you get to put on a green jacket. And what size is your green jacket, Bobby?
I don't have one.
Oh, I have a 46 long in there, past champion. It's a wonderful event. Now I remember we were in the A flight and the total handicaps were 12. Now the total handicaps are 3. It's gotten a lot more competitive over the years. But Buddy and the whole staff at Ocean City, you know, they're like family to me. I love them, and I love playing in that event.
And the president of the club now, one of your dear friends, John Barrett, has done a tremendous job. They've introduced a new membership there, an anniversary membership, which is very, very affordable. It's made a difference to the club. It's infused some cash. They made some great changes to that golf course.
They renovated the whole clubhouse, Bobby. We got a nice bar. They renovated the pro shop, the clubhouse, the locker room. They've made a lot of improvements to the golf course. Mike Salvio, the superintendent, is doing an awesome job. It's in as good a shape as I've seen in years. Even in November, I was back home in November playing, and the greens were as fast as I've ever seen them. Yeah, I mean, everything from head to toe. John Barrett being the president, you know, I think he really made a big difference there, and I love it. That's like home to me.
And before, you were fortunate enough to spend your winters here in Atlantis, Florida at Lost City Golf Club, which, again, we have to take our hats off to them because we're new here, but we've had a great experience here. The members here are great. The staff is great. So we're very fortunate to be a part of Ocean City Golf Club and also a part of Lost City.
To be some of the Lost Boys down here?
Yes, I like it. Absolutely. But one of the things we have to mention, too, at Ocean City, they play golf year-round. I mean, this, you know, I have friends back home, they're diehards, and you know, unless the ground's frozen, unless it's, you know, there's snow on the ground, which is very, very rare, they're out there sticking the tee in the ground. They're playing golf.
I donated my cart cover last year to the club, actually, and they put cart covers. They have heaters in there, and I mean, if it's less than 32, they might not play, but if it's in the high 30s, they're out there. They'll play. They're bundled up. It looks like they're going through the ski slopes. But they're playing. You know, I was on their text chain today. They're all playing today, and it's 40 degrees up there today. Have at it, son.
Well, we had to work today, otherwise we'd be playing. So.
Yeah, we'd be playing out here on the wonderful East course because it's what is it, 82, and I see about 5 or 6 clouds here.
Yes, it's a perfect day. Well, Curtis, I really appreciate you spending some time with me and talking a little business and a little golf. To wind things up and wrap things up today, one question: if you had to summarize your experience with golf and how it's affected your business and your personal life, just tell us a little bit about how you would feel about the game and how it's affected you business-wise and personal-wise.
I think we would have done all right in business either way, but it certainly hasn't hurt business. As far as my personal life, like I said, I'd say 90% of my friends I've met on the golf course. So I think it's had a huge impact on my personal life. One of my kids play, and he's getting into it. It's been life-changing. I mean, that's the only way to put it. I mean, it pretty much dominates our thinking anymore. That's all we want to do is play
That's
golf.
all we want to do, that's for sure.
Yep.
We certainly enjoy it. Well, Curtis Macomber, the owner and CEO, the man who really steers the ship and the founder of Key Financial Services. It's always a pleasure spending time with you. Today was great. Thank you for being a guest right here on the Endless Golf Podcast.
Appreciate it.
We'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
Ciao.
The Endless Golf Podcast has been brought to you by Toyota.